Shell Point. I'm here with J.L. Solomon and her pet, Katie. Thank you for joining me today, Jay.
It's my pleasure.
And Katie is a special dog. She's a therapy dog, you said?
Yes.
And how does she become a therapy dog?
Well, you have to go and train, and you have to go through your training, and then they have to approve you. So once you go through that and you're approved, then there are lots of things you can do. We started out in hospital work, and we worked at the hospital over here, and we worked in different ways, and we worked hospice when we started, which was interesting, and Katie did really well with hospice. I'm a retired chaplain,
Okay.
and so together we worked really, really well, and she liked that a lot. And then we went and we worked with Crow on Sanibel Island, and Katie was a greeter.
Okay.
So at the when people came in, Katie would go and she would greet them, and she loved doing that. And then she liked working. There were a couple of animals there that were her friends. One was a big turtle, and the other was what was he, Bear? Huh?
Possum.
A possum.
A possum, wow.
Yeah, and she and the possum got along great.
Oh.
So she liked that job too. And then now what we've been doing is we've been working with CAC, which is Children's Advocacy. And what we do is we work with children who have been abused from the age of 7 to about 17. And we work one-on-one with a child and a social worker. And Katie pretty much does the work all by herself, which is just amazing to watch. And we're in an enclosed room with the three of us. And when the child needs support, Katie goes by herself over to the child, gives the child support, and then backs off
Wow.
when the child's settled. And then when the child goes through this whole program, the child goes downtown to the court and meets with the judge and tells his or her story. And Katie then would go with the downtown with the child. It's a new program for Florida,
Wow.
which is a fabulous
It sounds
program.
so, and it's amazing how children can interact with the animals and feel that sense of.
Children, everybody actually. You know, it's terrific when somebody's really ill. A dog, actually any animal,
Right.
can make somebody really feel good and again calm them,
Right.
make them feel peaceful,
Yeah.
which is great. Katie was abused herself, and when we got her, I went online because I had seen a golden doodle and fell in love with him. And Barry and I went online and found this golden doodle and got a beautiful picture of this dog in Missouri. And she was 4 years old, and so we sent for her. We went out to the airport, and there was this god-awful thing. I mean, just terrible looking in this crate. And there she was. She was so thin, her ribs were showing, and tits were hanging down to the ground, and she was just ugly as can be. So we took her, and we took her right to the vet. And the vet took one look at her and wanted to put her down. She was just so sick. And she said right away, she'd been used as a breeder and probably never been out of the crate. And she couldn't even stand up. So I had trained dogs all my life, and I said, you know what, we'll take her home and we'll see what we can do with her and give her a little time. So we took her home, and she couldn't walk, she couldn't do anything because she'd been in this crate. So I picked her up, took her outside, fed her by hand, and then finally my husband and I said, well, you know what, I think she needs a puppy. She's never been allowed to keep any of her puppies. So we went back online and found a golden doodle puppy in Texas and brought that one home.
Oh.
And here was this little teeny tiny golden doodle puppy. And Katie, when we opened that one up and let it out, Katie just went wild. This is a dog that had no expression. Her tail had never been up. I mean, she was dead looking. The minute that puppy came out, she came to life, and Barry and I burst out crying.
No.
I mean, it was like a miracle. And she had her baby.
No.
So that was Ripley. And Ripley and she were just inseparable.
How old is Katie?
She's 13,
13. And how much does she weigh?
about 50
About
pounds.
50 pounds.
Yeah.
Her fur is so soft, and her ears, we were saying it looks like her hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone that you go visit, they're so thankful, and that's just so
They
amazing.
just love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you not?
Yeah. She's probably the calmest dog
Very.
I've ever had.
Yeah. She's like the most well-behaved human, you know? She's just sitting here.
Well, most
She's
humans
I
aren't this
know.
well-behaved.
She's amazing. Well, I just want to thank you for being on this week's Pet of the Week and letting us meet Katie.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.